Chapter 3, working with layers. One of the things you're really going to love with Photoshop is the ability to use layers. If your layer panel does not show up, mine is right here, you need to go to Windows and click on Layers or click F7. With the Layers panel open, you'll see the room background is the very first one that I opened. And I just went to Chapter 3 data files to get that. I'm now going to add the sofa to this. When I open it, it takes up the screen. Well, in order to get the sofa to the room, what I need to do is go to Window, Arrange, and I'm just going to choose Tile. With them both side by side, I can grab my Move tool and drag the sofa onto the room layer. And then I can close the sofa. Now, first thing I always do is rename the layer to the correct thing so I know what it is, especially if you look on page 135, we're going to add all those different contents to the room. So you have multiple layers, so you don't want them named layer 1, layer 2, layer 3. I'm going to double click on layer 1 and just name it sofa. Press enter and that's it. Now I can move this wherever I want. I'm going to add another item to the room so you can see how we work with multiple. And let's go ahead and choose the potted plant. Again, I'm going to go to Window, Arrange, and I'm going to grab my Move tool, move it over, and close it. And name it Potted Plant. Okay, I'm just going to move this down here. Now, as you can see, we've got our background layer, our sofa, and our potted plant. Remember, with Chapter 2, when we were on one layer and we had all the baskets and we selected them and moved them to the center, the problem was once we deselected one of those baskets and wanted to move it, whether it be up, down, left, or right, it was really hard to do because we had other baskets on top of it, so to reselect it was quite a chore. This isn't. I could go ahead and hide everything but the plant, so I can do whatever I need to. Let's say I want to change the whole color of this vase. Well, while I'm doing it, I don't want the color to go onto the background, so I close everything, I go in, and I could grab a brush and change it. So these eyeballs, when they're all on, you see everything. When they're off, you only see what is showing, what you have opened. Now, you're going to really enjoy layers and the different things you can do to them. But one of the things we're going to do is, I talked to some of you about this, the clone stamp, cleaning things up or removing things from a picture. We are going to take the clone stamp and remove this mantle. Before I do that, I need to unlock the background image. Do you see how the background's locked with the padlock? All I do is double click and then it's going to name it, and I'm just going to call it room. And now it's unlocked. If you would try to do the clone stamp without unlocking it, it wouldn't work. So you would know there's something wrong if you'd forget. I always look to see if it's locked. In your toolbar, remember, if you ever see a little triangle in the bottom right hand corner, that means there's other tools underneath it. So make sure you're on the clone stamp and not the pattern stamp. And it just looks like a regular stamp. I could take, and I kind of like this, my brush being big because then it's easier. If it was like, maybe I was removing a blemish from someone's face, you probably need this brush to be smaller. So it just depends what you're working on. The hard thing of this video for the clone stamp is you guys really listening to what I'm doing with the keyboard. And if I haven't told you this before, with Photoshop, I highly recommend you get an external mouse. It's really hard to use your mouse pad along with some of the keyboard combinations you have to use if you haven't realized that already. Now with the clone stamp, I'm going to hold down, I'm holding down my Alt key right now. As you can see now, my mouse pointer is a target. This is the target area I want to copy, meaning I want the mantle to look like what up here, just the beige wall. So I copy, let go of the Alt. Now I go down here and you see the plus hairs. That's where it's copying. Now maybe I want to get a sample from over here. Again, I'm going to hold down Alt and drag around a little bit. Come back here. Sometimes you, oh, now I went too far. I kind of ruined it. So I'm going to go back up here. Get rid of some of that dark beige. Sometimes you really need to blow things up or down to get a look at it. The easiest way to blow up, Control plus, Control minus, will bring it back down. Okay, that's all I'm doing with the clone stamp. Now, or for the room, maybe I want to go into the potted plant and remove the leaves. I'm just going to remove some right from the middle just to show you. Again, I'm going to want it. We'll get rid of these over here, actually. That'll make more sense. Copy. You know what, looking at the book, they want you to do something else with that potted plant, so I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to remove it with the clone stamp. You're going to work a little bit with your erasers in this chapter too, so I'm just going to leave those alone. But I do want to show you, some people did not realize this, is, you know, you worked a little bit with the selection baskets, the history tool, where you can go back maybe 5, 10, 15 steps that you were working on. And you do have an edit undo. You only get one chance for that undo, which is weird to me because you can step backwards multiple times then. So after your one edit undo, then you go edit, step backwards, step backwards, step backwards. Those are just a few of the things I wanted to show you and explain from the chapter, chapter 3. I do encourage you to go through the whole chapter and read, especially on 140. There's lots of great information about things you can do with layers and why you would want to use layers, just so everybody's aware of the huge benefits of layers. And make sure you're always naming the layers what they are. You're going to go through chapter 3, and that's going to be due next Wednesday. There's also one other assignment to go with it. The next week, we're still working on layers. It's probably not going to be from the book. It's going to be assignments that I'm going to create for you. So for the next 2 weeks, we're going to be working on chapter 3 layers. Understanding and being comfortable with layers is probably one of the most important concepts in Photoshop, along with what you did in chapter 2, knowing how to select. If I don't know how to select and move things, it's not going to make having layers a benefit at all. So watch videos. There's Videos an Online Expert. You can Google videos. You can go to YouTube. There's so many free resources out there. Photoshop is an art. Arts can't always be taught just through a book. It's got to be by an inner need or want to learn it and a passion for it. I understand not everybody's going to have a passion for Photoshop, but there is so many cool features. You've paid for this expensive, awesome software. Let's utilize it to the fullest. Please let me know if you have any questions or comments with Chapter 3 Layers. Make sure you're following the steps, saving often. And I hope you really enjoy layers. Have a good day.